So if we can't get some kind of new deal together by that deadline of May 12th, then is it time to say goodbye to the deal entirely? We are asking Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy. Senator, welcome. Good to have you here.
Hey, Trish, thank you for having me.
Do we need to let this thing go if no kind of deal, so to speak, is actually reached by the 12th?
It's going to be the president's call. He has access to classified information that I don't have. But clearly there's a sense that Iran has used the money that was given to them to try and foment activities in Syria, in Lebanon, even encroaching now upon Israel, certainly in Iraq, that are against the national interests of the United States as well as other countries. That and other things, I think, are why the president's pushing this. But again, ultimately, it's his call.
Senator, this is a country that is not exactly a friend of ours. This is a country that is saying that we will severely regret pulling out of the deal and that they could act on this within a week. What kind of threat is that from Iran? What are they trying to say?
Clearly, we have military capability that is far greater than Iran's. If they wanted to restart their nuclear program, they would not do it in a week. But on the other hand, they are capable of asymmetric warfare, and they are capable of unleashing some terrorist attacks. And some of them may get through. So there might be consequences to it. But clearly as well, we, the United States, could hurt them far more than they could hurt us. I'd rather not be in this situation, though.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me ask you about some of the other items in the news today, and one of which, of course, is Dr. Ronnie Jackson. And the president saying in the press conference earlier, when asked by our very own John Roberts whether or not this was going to move forward, basically that, he's a really nice guy, and he told him, you don't need this. So what does that signal to you about whether Dr. Jackson is actually going to become head of the VA?
I can't get in the conversation between the president and Dr. Jackson. I'm on the VA committee. I'm all about the veterans. What can we do to make sure they have better care? So if there is something that has arisen, I will do my best to learn what that is. If it turns out that there's something in his personal life, maybe he doesn't want to go through it. But ultimately, we need a good leader for the VA, one who serves the veterans as patients.
Yeah. Do you worry at all that in this kind of environment that his political enemies, or perhaps the enemies of the president, might be just sort of making stuff up, seeing what sticks out there? And clearly, this is one of the reasons nobody wants to go into politics. That's tough to go through no matter who you are. But thus far, we haven't seen any of these accusations really come with any kind of substantive sourcing.
Isn't it kind of curious that the Navy would assign as a doctor to the president somebody who had such significant issues? To me, that just doesn't make sense. I mean, the Navy's going to put their best person there, and their best person there is not that good. Again, just doesn't make sense. So I agree with you. I want to give Dr. Jackson the benefit of the doubt and to see kind of what these allegations are about and go from there. We've all done things that maybe we wish we hadn't. The question is, does it disqualify us for a job? And that's what I'm trying to learn.
So I hear you got a big shindig there tonight. You're going to the state dinner.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Louisiana feels a special tie to France, and France has done a tremendous amount of investment in Louisiana. But if you will, Macron and Trump both have taken as a mission, how do we improve economic opportunity, better jobs, better benefits for working French, working Americans? I'm also about that. I think Louisiana has a good story to tell, but it's been aided by investment from elsewhere. Well, I'm interested to see if that comes up.
Let me ask you, I mean, he had an opportunity to be pretty inclusive on this one, and he wasn't, the president that is. Should he have been? Should he have invited Democrats? Should he have invited more members of the media? Should this have been a more inclusive overall dinner as opposed to just really sticking to his lane?
Trish, clearly that's the way it's always been done. Both of these presidents got elected by doing things differently. So I won't try and second guess a fellow who's been quite successful pursuing things his way. And if the more important thing is that he and Macron can figure out how to make global economies work for Americans and French who've been left behind by the global economy, who cares who he invites?
Well,
We're
Senator,
just trying to get better jobs and better benefits.
That said, when you're there as president on a global stage, inviting a global leader, I mean, this is the United States of America. And even though we may have our political differences, and there are folks that are on the opposite side as you and the president, don't we still want to put forward a united front in front of the president of France or any other president for that matter?
I hear what you're saying, but every time I second guess the president, something good apparently happens. I wasn't sure he should have been tweeting at Kim Jong-un, and here we have North Korea for the first time appearing to do something positive, at least the first time in a long time. So it's easy to second guess. On the other hand, track records look pretty good so far, so I'll hold on my second guessing.
All right. Well, Senator, have fun tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.